Hello, and welcome to Ghost Story Hour. Tonight, I thought I would share with you some of my family's hauntings, stories, superstitions, and the like. Does your family have any ghost stories, folklore, or unexplained events? Take a small journey with me while I fill you in on some of mine. My house is very old. My grandparents moved in here sometime in the 60s when my mom was 9 years old. My mom comes from a very large family of about 11 children, 3 of which passed away before I was born. In this room here, this is one of the bedrooms. My grandfather was asleep with one of my uncles when he happened to gaze down this hill and realized there was a skeletal figure waving his finger and motioning for him to come near. My grandfather was frightened, closed the curtain, and went back to sleep. A couple nights later, with the same uncle, my grandpa went back to sleep and woke up to discover the same skeletal figure standing over my uncle's bed. The next day, my grandpa awoke. My uncle had passed away. Superstition? Or was it really there? I'm not sure. My oldest living uncle is in his mid-70s now. When he was a young man, he came home from partying one night. This was the window to his bedroom in the basement. He said when he came downstairs, he set his drumsticks down across the room, and he laid down to go to sleep. He woke up harshly through the evening and discovered something was breathing on his neck. Being afraid, he closed his eyes, said his prayers, and went to sleep. And when he woke up the next day, his drumsticks were next to the bed on the floor in the shape of a cross. Again, superstition? Or is it something more sinister? Imagine, if you will, a home so old that has seen so many deaths. In this house, I've had 2 uncles pass away, my grandma and my grandpa. When my grandma passed, she left the house to my mom, who in turn left it to me, or passed it down to me rather. In that same basement room, my son has heard whistling and whispers and had game systems fly across the room at him. I myself have heard whispers, had my foot scratched, been shaken awake, and had something call my name. My daughter sleeps in the upstairs area. She hears very evil whispers, sees black entities floating across her room. And in the main floor, we hear footsteps, see shadows, and the like. We even have a video of the lampshade shaking on its own with no wind. Are these all just ghost stories of one haunted house? Or is there more to it? Could it be the land? We don't know. My house was built before they kept records, so it's hard to say. The city I come from is rich in Native American history. So who knows what could be occupied in this land? My grandmother was cooking one day when she was younger in the kitchen here. She felt a presence behind her. And she turned around. There was a picture of the Virgin Mary. A vision. She turned back to the stove, counted to 3, and when she turned around, it was gone. Was it just her imagination? Or was this something coming to comfort her? My family suffers from a rare condition called adrenoleukodystrophy. It affects only the young men. I've lost 2 uncles, my brother, and a male cousin to it. Many, many years ago, there was a woman who was in love with my grandpa, and she told him that his sons would suffer the fate because he had hurt her. These could all just be pure superstitions, but maybe it's something more. That is all for tonight's tale. I'll share more of my personal views and experiences in the next video. Thank you for watching.